Thank you. I really appreciate it.
It's alive with a big ass mouth and arms and eyes.
Oh, Lord.
Hello, hello, hello. It's me, your girl, Miss Toonslover, and I'm back with another episode for the first time in like 50 months. I'm back. Real Monsters. Nickelodeon, back in the 90s. I know you guys gotta remember this show. Aaah, Oblina, Krumms. When I think of the show, I always think of Krumms' Pimple. He was on his head and then he just started to... You know what? I'm about to just hop right into this. Let's go. The episode starts with Aaah sharpening his fangs with a razor in front of the mirror, then Oblina fixing her lips like it's a balloon animal.
We have a giraffe! There you go, son. Now get out of here. You're bothering.
And he notices he's got a gross, large pimple, and everyone's impressed by it because they're monsters and they like that ish. At lunch, the other monsters notice the pimple as well, and they liking it. A girl monster named Horrifica, who appears to be the popular girl of the Monster Academy, has also noticed the pimple, and she's impressed by it also. As Horrifica walks off, a jealous Oblina tells Krumms she doesn't know what he sees in that monster, but he's not trying to hear it. He likes that she's scaly. Later, Oblina tells Krumms that if his pimple grows any bigger, that he will be most likely to make others nauseous. And of course, he wants parts. Aaah lets Krumms know his pimple can get bigger if he picks it, so Krumms grabs a wrench and gets busy on that skin growth. An admirer of the pimple tells Krumms that it is the most impressive skin growth that he has seen in these parts in quite some time. And then Krumms' pimple answers,
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
It's alive with a big ass mouth and arms and eyes.
Oh, Lord.
This thing can talk and apparently makes a mean snot cake. Krumms introduces his pimple to Oblina and Aaah, and he lets them know his name is Steve. And let me tell you, Steve is a smooth talker. I don't trust that pimple, but let's keep going. In class, Steve continues to be the charmer that we saw in the last scene, so much that he even impresses the Grumble but makes Krumms look bad in the process. Next, Krumms bumps into Horrifica, like literally bumps into her.
How dare you!
Must have had his eyes pointed in the wrong direction or something. She says some friends are going to hang out after school and that he could come and bring his friends. Krumms is hype. He like, hell yeah, girl. And she was like, no, fool, not you. Steve. I want Steve to come. This is so salty. How you gonna invite this man's bump on his head, but not him? Steve says he'll be there and asks Oblina and Aaah if they want to come along, and they're like, sure, Steve, which is weird because Oblina clearly don't like homegirl, but it just goes to show you how much juice the pimple got. Steve tells Krumms he'll let him come with him, but he better not cramp his style. This thing been alive for all of 3 minutes, and he is a jerk. They hang at the dumpsters by Sam's Diner, where Steve sings for the other monsters using Krumms' pit hair as the instrument.
Okay.
When Steve finishes performing, he starts sending shots at Krumms and they have a mild back and forth. Everyone else goes dumpster diving, but Steve says he needs to have a word with Krumms. He starts hitting Krumms and telling him he ruined the party, and they just start going at it. Unfortunately, Oblina and Aaah only enter the part of the fight where Krumms is hurting Steve, and Steve takes advantage of this situation. He acts so hurt and tells Krumms that he just wanted him to like him. Oblina and Aaah both digging Krumms' ass for mistreating Steve, completely unaware that Steve is really playing them. They say Steve only wants to be Krumms' friend, but Krumms like, nah y'all, you two have to pick between me or Steve. They clam up and don't say a thing, and he's like, alright, bet I'm out. Some friends they are. Like, he is a pimple, y'all. That is your friend. He's your roommate. The audacity. At lunch the next day, Steve continues his BS pity party, and it is really working. The cafeteria lady gives Steve an extra worm, and then he has the whole cafeteria room feel bad for him as he groans about the pain from his fight with Krumms. Krumms sits down by himself behind Oblina and Ickis, and Steve tells Ickis and Oblina that he hopes that the altercation between him and Krumms wouldn't affect their relationship.
Hi, I'm Chucky, and I'm your friend to the end.
Krumms walks away, and Ickis and Oblina then decide to open their eyes and see what's really good with this Steve character. Oblina and Ickis see Krumms sitting on a tire in a dump outside, and they witness how mean Steve is. He's teasing Krumms, and he starts calling Oblina and Ickis Krumms' dumb friends, so he was caught. All the way caught.
Eggmeister! Lady Pooh! I didn't say stupid. I said stupendous!
First, Steve tries to talk his way out of this mess, but then he decides, I don't need this. He wants to be on his own, and somehow detaches himself from Krumms' head. Oblina and Ickis apologize, and everything is all good between the trio. Steve is later seen finding a home for himself, only for an annoying pimple to sprout on his head too. The episode ends with Steve arguing with his new pimple, and I hope it goes on and on and on. You jerk. That's what he get. So that was the episode Krumms Pimple. It's season 1, episode 5A. Did you guys used to watch this episode? I've seen it many times in the past, but then I had to refresh my memory and watch the show again very recently. But it's a great episode. If you guys haven't watched it already, go check it out. All right, I'm gonna head on out of here, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.